How to make more money than all your peers. Let's get right into it. The reason I wanted to make this video is really focus on helping people get to 10K a month and then eventually 6 figures per year. I've been able to do this with multiple businesses, Airbnb, vending machine, and shirts, like that combo. I'm able to hit 6 figures per. I'm getting better and better. There's some guys that I follow, shout out to Wes Watson, and he's helped me take it to another level. Some of the things that he talked about is not missing. And what that means is if you simply just don't make mistakes and you just take step after step, for example, it's really a gym mantra and a hustle mantra. But if you just you don't mess up. So you go to the gym every day, you make sales every day, you really put in work every single day and don't miss. I feel like that's an easy strategy to be successful, but don't miss. But what I want to do is take you through beginning to end on how to be successful. And so first principle is don't miss. We'll start with that. Just not missing, I believe, is key. The second principle that I wanted to talk about, it's kind of a little bit not normal, but actually a lot of people talk about it. Number 2 is giving. Actually, before I even go into it, I think that with money, you need to be content where you're at. I don't think satisfied, you need to be satisfied, but you should wake up every day and be happy with what the Lord has blessed you with. It shouldn't be like, damn, I don't have this, damn, I don't have that. It should be, hey, thank you for what I do have. How can I help the world? How can I increase so that I can take my family on this trip or do this or do that and have a goal of achieving more? But you should be happy where you're at. So number 2 is really just be content where you're at. Because I feel like if you want more, by getting more, it's not going to make you happier. So you should be happy right now, and I think that leads to more. Number 3 is what should have been number 2, but I felt like content was very important. Number 3 is instead of focusing on what I can get, you have to change your mindset to what can I give. And for me, all of the money that I have made has been from me first focusing on what I can give. I just did. So we'll talk about the last 3 deals that made me money. I have some money right here that I just did. Did some video editing. She paid me in cash. A guy just bought 100 shirts off me. I gave him a great deal. I did the graphic design. I sent him some mock-ups. All of that was free. Even if he didn't pay, he would have still had the mock-ups and everything. So, and I sold some hoodies for my boy. He's a big time rapper. I did some hoodies for him. And so again, the mock-ups, I'll show the mock-ups. I did the mock-ups for free. I'm doing inside tags. I already had those ready for him. We're working on some beanies next. So I'm really focused on what I can give first without even though I know I'm going to receive most of the time, I'm focused on what I can give first. With my Airbnb business, before I received a dime, we did some proof of concept, but before I received a dime, we went in, we set up cameras. My mom's my business partner. I went in, I helped her set up cameras. I helped her get the place ready. I made a check-in video. I did all of this stuff. I gave to the product before I even received. I did this a bunch of times with Airbnb, but I focus on giving. Literally my money, 10% of my income, I give to my church. So if I make $100, I give $10 to my church. This, I swear that was a hack. I know it doesn't sound glamorous. I know it doesn't sound like, oh, I got to give my money away. But what it did was the hand that you give from is the same hand that you receive from. And my hand right now is closed. If you are closed off and you're not able to receive these large blessings, 6-figure blessings, it's because you're closed off. You're not willing to give anything. But once I started to give, that's when my mind really opened up. Once I started to give, that's when my mind opened up to investing. That's when my mind opened up to everything. And when I led with giving, that's really how I was able to receive. So this stuff I feel like is kind of the fun stuff. It's the boring stuff, but I think it's super important to talk about. Now to get into number 4, how to make money. I think before listening to this, I think that if you want to make more money than everybody around you, you have to outlearn them. So for me, and the video style that you see, everything that you see, I learned how to do this. I just watched 3 YouTube videos on how to get more views, how to get more clicks, and how to edit. I've been making shirts for 10 plus years. Every time I'm making shirts, I don't listen to music. I listen to podcasts, YouTube videos, and then what I do is if somebody's interesting on YouTube, I actually pay for their course. If you want to learn more about vending, this plug, my vending book has been received, partoftheculture.com. But I'm constantly learning, and that's why I actually write books, is because A, it gives out information. B, to promote those books, I have to put out a lot of information. So I'm still giving. Even if they don't buy anything, I still had to give. Anything, I write books because I love learning. And so I love creating materials for other people to learn and for other people to have aha moments like I did myself. So you have to outlearn everyone. You have to turn your car into a mobile university. If you have a problem, a lot of people just sit on TikTok all day and Instagram, which is cool if that's what you want to do. But a part of your time every day, if you take a shower every day, you got to learn every day. Number 5 is content. A lot of people don't even, and a lot of this stuff is for business owners, but a lot of people don't even know what you do. They don't know who you are. If you look around right now, if on the freeway, you driving to work, you get to work, you're working on your business, look around. How many people know that you do what you do? That's why you're not making 6 figures, because nobody knows. Nobody knows. Around my city, people make fun of me because everyone calls me the shirt plug. That's how I've branded myself. That's my main business. I'm the shirt plug. You need shirts, you go to the shirt plug. A lot of my analogies and things come from the dope game, but I refuse to sell drugs. That's a whole story and another story. I've had a family, I'll tell you a quick version. I had a family member who went to jail and his son was affected by it. And from that, he went to jail for drug dealing and he was hella balling before he went. But I vowed never to sell drugs, but I run and I use a lot of phrases like a drug dealer. So the next thing is you have to create content and let people know who you are and what you do. You guys now know I have a book. You guys now know I'm the shirt plug. So it's like I'm constantly creating things so that people know what I do. Number 6, everyone actually relies. I feel like this is as far as people get. Number 6 is you have to learn to sell. And I'll just throw in a rule here that I love. We'll come over here. The rule of 100. You need to reach out. This is daily, Monday through Friday. Reach out to 100 people. Eventually, you need to create on a weekly, create 100 pieces of content. And I'm still working to get here. I just bought a business, so my money's a little bit funny. But once the business is paid off, it will finance a lot of this stuff. You need to spend at least $100 a week and get to the goal of $100 a day on advertising. This formula right here, if you don't do anything else, this rule of 100, reaching out to 100 people every day, showing your product or service, I think probably this is like a secret weapon. There's an Asian dude who came to this country. He didn't speak a lick of English, learned a little bit of English, and he got into real estate and he just knocked on 100 doors every day. 5 years later, he was a multimillionaire, owned a bunch of properties, literally from reaching out to 100 people. Nowadays, you got to create the content so people know who you are. Content is branding and your marketing. And by learning, you'll get better at this. You'll also get better at sales. You'll also get better at how to reach out to people because you'll be learning all of these things. So these are the things that I feel like you need to do in order to make more money than your peers. So you guys got all that. Take notes. I'm going to go into part 2 of this, right? The stuff that people don't talk about. Well, I guess people do talk about it, but we'll go a little bit deeper. Part 2 of this, the money starts coming in. Now it's what do you do with this money that can take you to that next level? So money comes in, right? So we'll go income, expenses. This is a cash flow quadrant, but I feel like it's important to talk about income, expenses, assets, liabilities. So this fancy chart is really just to show that now you've been doing what I said and money's starting to come in. Boom. A lot of people, this is where they're going to mess up. They're just going to start buying expensive clothes, cars. Houses could be an asset, but clothes, cars, jewelry, vacation. Because you will make more money if you do what I just said. And let's put a break to that. The goal of all of this is financial freedom, right? And that's where your assets actually pay for your expenses. So instead, once this money starts coming in, this is the key right here. You need to start investing in or buying businesses. You can buy stocks. For me, I build businesses and I buy businesses. Buy businesses. That's what this whole book is about, is buying vending machine businesses. So as the money comes in, you buy businesses. Say you buy, we'll just use vending machine. You can do Airbnbs, real estate, right? So now your money's coming in and you're putting it into businesses. Now this will be vending machines. This will be houses, right? We'll just make this is your Cokes. This is a vending machine. Now these things are producing cash. Boom. And they're paying for your expenses. But wait, you don't stop there. Yes, and this is where percentages come in. So now that you put your income into it, everyone has different percentages. You have to find one that works for you, because you do need to live and you do need to have a good time. So what you do is as this money comes in, you say 10%, this is my formula, I'm gonna give away. We said how important that is. 10% stocks, because you want to invest in other people's businesses. 10% you want to put into savings to buy businesses. And this can go up, so you might want to do 10 to 20%. We could put 20%, 5%. Could be whatever you want. But you're going to want to put some of your money in there. And then the rest of it, have fun. 50 to 70% enjoy, live off of. Because what happens is I don't want to scare you and be like, you have to spend all your money. But what happens is this 50% to 70%, you can buy those cars because your income's going up. So you can buy those cars, you can buy those houses. But now your stocks, every month, every dollar that comes in, your stocks are going up. Every dollar that comes in, all right, so all I was saying, enjoy it. You can live off the rest. I feel like it's a pretty good guide on how to make more money. Just to recap, it's the rule of 100, giving back, and then once the money starts coming in, it's very important to use part of it to buy assets. And then those assets, once you get to a certain point, those assets will just continue to buy more assets. And then eventually you'll have so many assets that you no longer need to work, and then you'll become financially free. Once your assets, so if your expenses are $5,000 a month, if you have Airbnbs, real estate, and vending machines, or you can pick one, whatever your business is, doesn't have to be those, but they cover your expenses. You no longer have to work a job. You're financially free. You can work on whatever you want to work. You can give back. You could continue to build those businesses. You're always going to want to keep your mind on your business. There's not even, you see owner Nike still involved in his. You see anybody who's a billionaire, they still work their businesses. Jeff Bezos, he just stepped down as CEO. Mark Zuckerberg, billionaire, still works his businesses. So I'm not saying you could just exit. A lot of people who have businesses want to work them. I personally, even if I was financially free, I would still work my businesses. But I wouldn't, sometimes I bartend on the side, sometimes I do videography on the side. I would probably eliminate I do catering sometimes. I would eliminate a lot of those things and just focus purely on my business. But I do continue to take a piece of 10 to 20%, and I continue to buy businesses, and year in and year out, my businesses have grown. Hopefully by the end of this year, I'll have a business that's worth about $70,000, $60,000 to $70,000, which it produces in cash flow. And then I'm going to take a percent of that and just buy more businesses next year. And the cycle continues. Plus, by saying the act of buying businesses and running business makes you a better business person. So you can do a lot more with a lot less. You get smarter, you understand negotiations, you understand content, and you just get better. This may not be the best video that I've ever made or will ever make, but I'm practicing. I'm getting better at communication. And so by continuing to put in that work and stay consistent and not missing, I'm just becoming better. My edits are becoming better and better. I'm learning, so I'm becoming better, better, and better. So all of these things are leading to me making more and more money. One thing I want to say, a thought that's in the back of my head, is like that camera online. You can't get paid in a world this big, you worthless kid. And yes, there's millions of people out here. And if you can become and have a niche, whether it's makeup, whether it's ending, whatever, if you can become known in that, in your city, I don't know how many people are in your city, but even if you lived in a small city of 50,000, right? If you can get 10% of those people in your city, that might be a lot for a big city, but If you can get 10,000, you tap into 10,000. There's 365 days a year. If you can just get two people, say you have $500 product. If you can get two people to spend $500 with you every single day and just tap into your community, that's $1,000 a day. That's $30,000 a month that you can make. One of the things I also wanted to say is that even if you can get small deals, if you can get two people to spend $30 with you every day, that's $30 a day. 30 is 1,000. 60 is 2,000. That's an extra $12,000 a year, just 30 days. Or if you get $60 a day, that's an extra $24,000 a year. If you get 90, that's an extra $36,000 a day. That's just three small deals of $30. Imagine if you can do three small deals of 100, or if you can get three people to spend 100, that's 6 figures. So do the math, but I just wanted to go over how to make more money. Really the goal of my channel is to help entrepreneurs get to 6 figures and eventually use that money to become financially free. I have multiple streams of income, so I really just focus on business owners and people with side hustles. So if you liked what you've seen, subscribe, all that stuff. I don't even care if you do or you don't, but I'm gonna keep giving out game for that specific group. That's my niche audience, small business owners who are trying to hit that 100K mark. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll respond. Have a blessed day. I'm out. Yee.